Hello all, Antonio Tambornino here with my review of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Before I begin with that review, I feel it appropriate for me to further articulate why it is I like Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban so much, as it clearly is not the only Harry Potter film in the series worthy of rewatch. What the Prisoner of Azkaban does so well, I feel, is get into who the characters really are, giving us a sense of chemistry and intrigue among the characters in a way that the first two Harry Potter films did not. Doing a better job in this movie of illustrating the tension we felt as we read the books, the very tension for why we were reading them in the first place. And it is that same kind of tension that made the book, The Prisoner of Azkaban, one of my absolute favorites growing up. And Alfonso Cuarón and team are able to capture that level of character, the right kind of intensity, and maintain a sense of subtlety and intrigue that was simply not entirely present in the first two Harry Potter films, while keeping the pacing quick but not frantic, as it has been in just about every Potter film. Having said all of that, things did feel as though they slowed down a bit throughout the majority of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, as well as the majority of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I had lived the phenomenon, like so many my age, had read all the books, had seen all the Harry Potter films at least once in the cinema. I even had a few Harry Potter collectibles, and I'm not talking about posters or pictures of the actors from the films, but things like, say, a Hagrid plush toy that would be sitting on my nightstand, or Norbert the Norwegian dragon to hang up on Christmas. It was awesome. I was delighted when I walked out of the theater. Technically the building in Walnut Creek that houses the theater where I saw Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, near where I lived in California. To hear a woman with her young adult sons say how much she enjoyed Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix and how much she looked forward to more Harry Potter films done by David Yates. Going to see Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, I'm slightly ashamed I did not go and see it opening night with a pre-bought ticket. But that should hardly matter, considering that the day that my dad and I saw Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, the lines were still just as big and just as long as they were for it on opening night. And heck, they have been that long for pretty much the opening night of every Harry Potter film since the first one. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 proved worth the wait and worth the hype. While there are some who argue that Harry Potter in its initial run has simply too much build-up for a climax that some will see as disappointing, Yates and team, not excluding Rowling herself, who managed to draw out the second half of her saga into 400-500 page tomes, must be credited for managing to keep the tension alive and real. From watching Harry, Ron, and Hermione slip into Gringotts dressed as their enemies, to teleporting into Diagon Alley and raising an alarm in the process, to sneaking into Hogwarts with Snape as headmaster, to seeing the ghosts of those closest to Harry, to seeing him face Voldemort again, to seeing him face Voldemort once more. As the drama continues and builds, this movie is still able to maintain a sense of subtlety and intrigue that we don't see much in mainstream cinema lately, especially not since movies like Schindler's List and The Lord of the Rings, while still remembering that Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 is, in fact, well, a Harry Potter film. At the time of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2's release, the term Harry Potter film had changed, but not by very much. The first two Harry Potter movies have a level of entertainment that is childish, and yet still sophisticated enough to please the adults that are reading these books to their kids. The first two Harry Potter movies were both able to capture the kind of humor that we got from the books, but that level of humor feels a little bit out of place in movies that don't quite capture the same kind of mythos the way the later half of the franchise was able to do so successfully. The first two Harry Potter movies were fast-paced without being frantic, and of the kind of entertainment that could keep 4 to 12-year-olds glued to the screen for a period of roughly 2.5 hours. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2 feel anything but childish, embracing a darker tone. While some will say that Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 had to acquire a darker tone because of the material presented in the final volume, people must also consider that these movies aren't merely kids' entertainment anymore. And this is how the term Harry Potter film has changed. It's gone from mere kids' entertainment to something meant to be enjoyed by anyone, acknowledging the fact that Harry Potter is here to stay, forever. Those of us who have grown up with the boy wizard feel that world is a part of us now, and will keep coming back to it, even with the films as dark as they are near the end of the series, or as childish as they are at the beginning of the series. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 also manages to feel real. This is something that the Star Wars prequels ignored. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 makes us feel as though we're in this world the characters inhabit, and we feel the same kind of fear and tension they do. Plus, the relief that when all is said and done, things finally feel normal. In Harry's case, things will never really feel normal. This is something Rowling made a point of at the end of the book. His status as a celebrity and his legend will never truly die. But the sense of security everyone feels now that the threat of Voldemort and his followers has been eradicated is akin to that of the Nazi Party losing the war. Now that Voldemort is gone and Harry is about to be on his own, things will feel much, much safer. His scar will prickle him no more. I give Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 4.5 out of 5 stars. It gives us something to keep coming back to, and will always maintain both the entertainment factor, as well as the fact that it's a story written for kids, with a dark, serious undertone. And each time we come back to it, the drama feels just as real the first time we read it, and the first time we saw it. Yates and team set out to give the world a finale worth the wait and the hype, to deliver a movie that would please fans, and prove what this franchise has been like as we waited in the long lines to find out what would happen to the boy who lived. High kudos to everyone involved, as it has clearly paid off and proved just how great the phenomenon has been. Enjoy the movie. Thank you very much for your time, and have an awesome day.